So, do you have your iced coffee or hot coffee or your iced tea or whatever, hot tea or whatever drink you like to drink when you wake up in the morning, all refreshed, and we could start this brand new week off right? Hey, I'm Jan. I'm from New York City, and I truly love helping people keep some more of their own hard earned money. Could that be you? I want to talk to you today about the specialness of this day. As I record this bright and early on a Sunday morning. A couple of things already took place because I like to start my day and week. This is a brand new week. Keep that in mind. Brand new weeks remind me of a brand new notebook. You know, when you were younger and maybe you appreciated it more when you were younger to open up a brand new notebook and you see that brand new page and the whole book just like a clean slate. That's how I approach every day. But especially, it's a little more special when it is the beginning of a brand new week. Fresh start, clean slate, start all over. And let's get to do a few things. And that includes saving money. But getting into the right mindset is of vital importance. So I'm going to share with you what happened today, literally on this day. The first thing I did today was I put on the Sunday Mass. Okay. For me, in my faith and in my belief, I like to participate in praying with the Sunday Mass. Okay. That is what works for me. I don't tell anybody else what to do. I'm just sharing what works for me. There you go. Okay. So, prayer. Basically, I started my day off in prayer. Prayer is a positive thing, it makes you feel better. We know that God is listening. It is just a wonderful, wonderful thing. So, to start and begin my day immediately in prayer, to me, is a great, great thing. Right after that, made my bed. I like to make my bed first thing in the morning, every single morning. First thing, get it out of the way. It is so much nicer to look at a neatly made bed than just leave it go. You walk into the room later, it looks like just unfinished. It just looks unfinished and looks sloppy. And no, especially first thing in the morning. And you know, it only takes but what, 2 seconds, a couple of minutes at the most. Really, the only time it takes a little bit longer and not that much longer is on when you're changing your sheets and your pillowcases. Okay. But those other days when it's just like freshen it up to make it look neat again and put it back to normal, what does that take? Nothing. Just saying, just saying. And then when you're putting on the clean sheets and pillowcases, you feel better because you're doing a good thing. Am I right or am I right? So, okay, so right after making the bed, of course, and I have it still with me, my cup of Joe. And I'm going to take me a sip right now. So, if you want your cup of Joe, maybe it's time for you to take a sip. So, hang on. Literally, that's what I'm doing. Hang on. Mm-mm-mm. What is it about that morning cup of Joe, and especially made the way that I like to make it, my instant cup of Joe? So, right after I complete this video, I'm going to head on over to exercise because that's what happens after I have my cup of Joe. I start my exercise routine every day. It works for me. Again, works for me. Again, let's think about this brand new day and brand new week. Everything's going smoothly. You know, it makes a difference because I know I mentioned this on past shows, but experts have proven that how a person perceives their first, let's say, 20 minutes to a half hour of their day kind of determines their mood for the rest of the day. So let's think about this logically. If we start our day off on a positive note, doing positive things with a good attitude, I'm sorry, it can only be good. It can only be good. Of course, things happen during the day to anyone. I mean, like little things that we may have to make a decision and, fix it or whatever. But just imagine our minds are clearer and we can make better choices. Now, you're probably saying to yourself by now, like, okay, but what does this do with saving money? In my opinion, I believe a lot because you will have the mental clarity to make better choices. Now, for example, Sundays are like the type of day that I like to assess as to what is going to, what I would like to happen this week. Okay. I don't just sit by and pray for things to happen. I do pray, but I don't sit by and expect God to do all the work for me. No, I have to do my part. Okay, so I have to anticipate, how can I make this a better, for example, work week, or a better keeping money week, or how can I help a friend or a neighbor in a better manner. I could look back at the previous week and ask myself, gee, Jan, maybe you could have done this thing better or that thing better. Or conversely, I might say to myself, gee, Jan, great job. You see where I'm going with this? So never ever dismiss the minor wins, by the way. Just saying, just saying. Now, of course, since it is Sunday, okay, what I like to do, for example, is assess my meal planning. Now, does that mean I'm going to write down a list of exactly what I'm going to eat on an exact day? No. What it means is, with the components I have, I'm going to take an overview as to the possibilities of the meals that I'm going to have. But I may decide to sketch, let's say, in my day planner, for example, let's say I have extra macaroni and cheese that I had made and I had frozen and put away in containers. I might decide to take a couple of those down for the week for my lunches. I work from home, so for me to order in lunch is, to me, absolutely a waste of money. And honestly, I know a lot of people do it. And I ask myself, is it necessary? But everybody's goals are different. Everybody's situation is different. To me, Janet, I think it's silly to order in lunch at home if I'm working from home and I can easily make my lunch. So if I have those couple of mac and cheese, in the freezer, I'm going to take them down, put them in my refrigerator, and maybe on Monday at lunchtime, I might decide to heat that up. Or maybe on Wednesday, whatever it is, assess. I like to assess. I also like to build upon. What do I mean by that? I also like to gather my components, be creative, decide to maybe make something in my slow cooker, which, my goodness gracious, is absolutely the easiest thing on planet Earth to cook a large quantity, for example, in a slow cooker. You're still cooking it and you're not babysitting that thing all day long. And it does not throw off any heat in my kitchen anyway. Because with heat the way it is lately, the last thing that I want is extra heat. I do not want extra heat, but that doesn't mean I don't want a nice meal to run to during the week. Just as an example, sometimes I like to make my meatballs for the week. And instead of doing it in the oven, I will do that easily, so simply, in my slow cooker. I mean, how simple is that? Assemble your meatballs. Some people like to pre-fry them for a second or two and then throw them in with sauce and let it go at that in the slow cooker. I enjoy that sometimes, believe me or not, over a bed of rice. So the smaller meatballs with tomato sauce over a bed of rice is really quite good. And it yields so much. You get so much leftovers from that. That what I like to do is pack them up. What do I do with the leftovers? They're not leftovers. They're future easy night convenient meals, and put them in the freezer. Then I like to figure out on a Sunday specifically, I like to figure out, well, how can I save money this week at the grocery store? So then I like to assess, well, what is going on sale at this particular time? Can I work my menu around it and shop the sales? These are all like the little bitty Sunday things that I personally like to do. And of course, the most important of all, spend quality time with my family and or my friends. This is, after all, Sunday, and it is especially important to make that quality time. But to do all the other things that I like to do to make my week in order. When I was working outside for an outside company or when I was teaching, Sunday was also the day I caught up with making sure that all of my outfits were pre-planned and ready to go, from laundry to the hanger, all ready to go throughout the week. I didn't have to blink an eyelash. I had my outfits ready because I don't like chaotic mornings. So if you're in that position where you work outside, because I work for myself, I don't necessarily have to get dressed up for myself. One of the perks of working for myself. Just saying, just saying. Well, I just thought that I'd share with you how I like to start my week off right. And who knows, maybe you have similarities in it too. My cup of coffee is still waiting there for me to enjoy. I hope that you had an opportunity to spend some time with me and enjoy your cup of coffee on this beautiful, bright new day, on this beautiful, bright, brand new week. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Take good care now. Bye bye.